Hey guys, it's David here with Black Projects 51. Just gonna do a little update and kind of a, I don't know, a kit review, I suppose. Um, I've had it on my shelf for a while, and I just thought, well, I don't think I've done this one for you guys, and just give you my thoughts about it. And the kit I'm talking about is the AMT Star Wars Havoc Marauder. It's my understanding that this wasn't part of the main canon of Star Wars as far as the movies and all that, that it's an animated series, apparently. So uh, it's a very cool looking ship. Um, you know, you guys that have been following me know that that's my primary interest. The storytelling to me is secondary or tertiary. I don't, good storytelling, I enjoy it, but being an engineer and stuff and loving aircraft and spacecraft design and all that, that's what I'm most interested. When I buy kits like this, it's because I really like the way it looks. That's true with everything sitting on my shelf. Um, so there's not a real canon to this per se. You can build it like it shows on the box, which gives you some pictures there on that side of the box, and of course the main cover um, shows you the decal sheet, which I don't know if it's real decals or peel and stick. One thing that's very cool is they give you the same exact clear parts in two different colors, and I think it was just cheaper. I'm not sure. Rusty on Eagle models and Augie on Interstellar model. They both covered that, what the reason for it was, and I don't recall the exact details, so I'm not going to um, go over that. And then, of course, you got well, it looks like you got a metal rod here, which is for the stand, a solid metal rod, which I won't be using because I will be lighting this. And then it looks like, besides the dome base, I think I think these are engine components. I'm not sure, or maybe they might be uh, part of the rod assembly for the stand. That's probably more than likely what that is. The kit itself is a snap tight. As you can see, I didn't open up the bags yet. I, but it's got some very nicely detailed parts. The kit overall is very well detailed. It is snap tight, and I won't be snap tightening it. Well, it does have regular decals, water based soluble decals, and it's got an instruction sheet. And it's got a total of 11 steps to building this thing. It doesn't have a cockpit. I may put something in there because I don't like blacking out windows, especially when they come transparent. I might make a little scratch built cockpit with maybe some seats in it and a pretty basic dash because you're not going to hardly see any of it. So, but just something in there so it doesn't look like there's nothing there. Um, Yeah, I understand the fit on this is very good, but I also understand that there's going to be a need for some seam filling, gap filling. But the kit itself has some pretty. Oh, got a physical therapy alarm here. I got to go to physical therapy. So, anyways, I can go ahead and cut this open, show a little bit. I imagine most of you are already familiar with this. So, but just kind of give you an idea of the scale, I'll show you the cockpit area compared to my hands. As you can see, it's got some very, very nice detailing. And as I've said in the past, I realize that using my laptop camera is probably the best way to do videos, but until I think I've already told you guys this, but my regular video camera, I haven't been able to get it to re- record mode for some reason. I'm not sure what the deal is. I don't want to buy another one, but I've had this one for like 5 years or so, so it might be outdated. I don't know. But if I can find something that's decent and got decent ratings, I may go ahead and replace it. But in the here and now, and of course, you got on your solar sails or whatever your panels you want to call them, you got the same standard pattern. There's the bottom of the forward fuselage, and you got the back there. But you could see uh, well, that's part of maybe that's the front. I guess there's front and back, and top and bottom, and left and right, and so on and so forth. Um, the secondary hull where the wings mount to it, you can see is nicely detailed. Like I said, for a snap tight kit, the price is reasonable. And I say that because comparison to 25, 30 years ago, these same kits would be half the price or less. So, yeah, but it is what it is. And the cost of everything has gone up. And I'm sure that's true with model kits as well. Go ahead and stick this back in here. But, I just wanted to give you an idea. If you're thinking about getting this kit and you haven't yet, it is a very nicely detailed kit. I'll go ahead and cut this open too. And like I said, it does have water slide decals, so that's a nice one. Some of these kits will come with peel and stick, and I never use those. What I will do though, if they're really high quality, I will scan them on my printer and go ahead and make a real decal sheet out of it. So again, we got some more parts. I'm assuming this is the bottom of the secondary hull. It's very nicely detailed. Again, this is I guess the vertical goes down the center line top of the fuselage of the spacecraft, and then you just got assorted other parts. So I think, like I said, a lot of the guys have already done this kit. So me showing you this and all that isn't anything new. Oh, but one thing that a lot of these manufacturers have been doing is they start giving you references for decal placement, which is what that is. And so is that. And then you've got paint colors. And what do we got here? Oh, just a little thing about weathering, which may or may not be helpful to you if you know how to weather, like most of us do. Us guys have been doing this for a while. Then it's not a big deal. But I just thought it was a very cool looking design and something I would like on my shelf at some point. I've been considering selling my Hulkbuster build that I just did, the black Hulkbuster. Considering it. But if I keep selling or giving away, which I'm going to not be giving anything away anytime soon, I'll never have anything on my shelves. What's the point of doing it if you're not going to have something to enjoy and look at, So, yeah, they call this Star Wars The Bad Batch Havoc Marauder. Very cool little kit, very cool spacecraft design. And as you can see, apparently the wings can be manipulated very much like a Klingon bird of prey. That's what that reminds me of. You can see that right here. So, yeah, I think it's a very neat kit. It's not terribly complex or anything, but that's something down the road. And my current project, as well as the X-Wing, this thing, just to kind of play catch up and stuff. The last time I reviewed this with you guys, I talked about various configurations for the interior. I made like a Jupiter 2 window cutout on one of the panels. Um, I painted the main landing gear some very cool colors. Um, whether or not I'm going to use the dome, this dome on the bottom, or use it on the top, and maybe use this, but you can see this is part of this is part of a toilet water bowl, your top tank, your water tank. This is part of the flapper valve on the bottom that seals it so your water, when you flush it, this pops up and the water goes down, flushes your toilet. But if I use this, I'm going to have to but sand away all these details on there, which probably wouldn't be too hard. I'm going to give it a try and see if it works because I might want to just go ahead and do that. And using this bottom section, I might be able to, where's my clear? I have a clear tube somewhere. I thought I did. Maybe I don't. I buy stuff and if I don't see it, I forget where I put it. So and then if I thought about buying it, but I really didn't buy it, then I'm looking for nothing, that kind of silliness. But yeah, sorry, I'm multitasking here while I'm talking to you. But my granddaughter Ziva, she has been very much engaged in my videos and what I'm building, and she really likes this particular project. So um, I'm going to try to take some of her ideas. You know, One thing she was wanting me to do, and I just don't know if I want to get that complex, was make like a take a clear tube and make it a transport beam coming out of the bottom of the ship where where they suck the cows up and things like that. That would be a very cool diorama, but I just don't think I want to go that far. So Ziva, I'm probably gonna go with some of your other ideas, but um, I'd have to find a proper scale little cow. And honestly, this scale is about, I think I said I was going to build it to 1/72nd scale, which I think would be looking at the little door panel right there. I think that would be the proper scale to go with, 1/72nd or even a little smaller. And I know last time I stuck this thing together, one of the pins broke, which I successfully glued it in. And and then these green windows, I don't know if I want to use those green windows. I might just go ahead and fabricate some clear ones. I don't know. Or if I can tint it another shade so when you're looking at it, it looks a little bit different. And also, when light's being emitted through it, it will uh, look significantly different. Like I said, the floor panel, which, it's very rough, but once I'm done, it'll look fine. There'll be trim around the edges and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I'm going very slow in my thought process on this. I really want to think it out and do the best I can with what the kit lends itself to. Um, Even this big window, I'm seriously contemplating getting some tinted. I don't know. I might have some tinted. I don't know. I have to look. Clear plastic and putting that over there, and maybe over the windows too, all the other windows, and not use the green stuff. I did that on the Timothy Alberino build, and I don't know if I want to repeat basically this with a different paint scheme. Though I like that, it's a very traditional looking flying saucer look, but um, and I think the things I did on Timothy's were pretty cool, but I do want this to be completely different. So um, yeah, I got to look and see if I truly have a clear tube, because if I don't, I will have to order some that's this size, and it's not terribly expensive, so that's a good thing. And you can get it made of Lexan and PVC and other materials, polycarbonate, I think, so on and so forth. So, yeah, the flying saucer UFO, like I said, I'm not completely ready to start the build process again. You know, as I told you, I'm still going through physical therapy. And like even right now, just sitting here is kind of uncomfortable. But I don't know. We'll see. I uh, I want to get back on the X-wing. I was looking at the parts on it the other day, especially the engines, and I was thinking, what I could do is put them all up on the model, index them somehow to where I see where I want the actual finished orientation to go, and then start detailing, adding engine components, detail to those engines because they're pretty plain Jane right now, and make it look more functional, and try to duplicate that, with little things like keyboard keys and of different sizes, and maybe take some paper clips and stuff and bend them and route them as, like fuel lines and things like that, and whatever else, rubber hose and black electrical wire and red electrical wire, and what other colors I can come up with of varying sizes. Make it look cool. I want it to look very detailed, and but like I said, I'm just trying to um, I don't know, do the coolest option that I can think of. And a lot of this stuff takes time too. So, um, and I don't want to waste my downtime because once I start a job, it's my time on models is going to be less. So, and I haven't done anything now for what, over 6 weeks. So I am wanting to do more. And, you know, if you guys want to in the comments, let me know what color scheme you think. If you have ideas or somebody's done something that you found and there's pictures, let me know. Send me the link, whatever, because it might inspire me to do something uh, significantly different, which I do want to do on this one. I don't know, maybe it being mostly metallic black, and maybe a completely like a light gunmetal on the bottom, and maybe this ring around here again, paint that a slightly different color. I don't know. It's nothing's set in stone. And even if I can find a replacement color of a similar dome to this in my Greeblies, or if I'm out and about shopping around and I see something that might work, that's clear, that gives me an option to do, different colors. Kind of locked into green unless I want to paint another translucent color over it. I would have to think what green and other colors would give me. So, and then this, it might stay clear. And of course, if I do put it like that and I sand off all that markings, this would have to have some type of, I don't know, maybe a little antenna. Just thinking. Um, yeah, I do want to make it cool, but I want to make it mine and I want to make it different, um, as I always do. And any of you guys that have been following me for a while know that I am perfectly fine with not being Canon on pretty much all my models. I do it to my specifications because it's my model. And if you were building it, it would be your model, and you could do whatever you want with yours. And now I understand that people like to do Canon because they want a replica or close to it, anyways, of their favorite sci-fi ships and stuff. And for me, my thoughts are, well, I don't know, maybe there's 1 billion model builders on the planet. Well, most of them are going to build to Canon. But so if that's the case, I don't want to be part of that crowd. I mean, not to take anything away from them, because a lot of these guys, when they build to Canon, it's beautiful, and that's fine. And if it's not a perfect work of art and you're new to the hobby and you're just starting out and maybe some of your work's a little rough, that's okay, because you get better with time. You just keep doing it, watching other people, more experienced people, and learn tips and tricks from them and practice them. If you got an old model kit or something you're willing to sacrifice to, practicing techniques on, then do that. Um, weathering techniques you can do on just about anything, any piece of plastic, you know, just to try out a technique, making panels with paint or scribing or things like that. So, yeah. Um, from here forward, I'm just going to do a little here, a little there. And, if I really want to build out a full interior on this thing, I'm going to have to build seats and consoles and displays and all that. And I ordered a very interesting decal sheet, which let me pause for a second because I'm going to show you. It's available on eBay, incidentally, and it's just a sci fi cockpit displays sheet, and it's got various different kinds of them of different sizes. So it, if you're not aware of it, it might be something that will help you with some of your builds. So let me find it here and I'll show it to you. Well, I've already cut it up a little bit, but this is basically what it looks like. I'll show you that one. It's got interior stuff and other things. This one as well. You get stripes and other kind of markings, and you can see radar screens, and then here's another portion of it. So it seems like I had another one too that was different, but I'm not sure. So, but that's always an option, and these are that particular those particular sheets. Excuse me, are sold on eBay. So, and they do vary in size. I'm going to pause. Yeah, I couldn't find another sheet. Maybe I'm imagining things, but these things I'm going to show you are for primarily for car modeling, but they're going to be used on the X-wing, at least in some areas. And this is just like a little, I don't know, radiator hose. And then you've got like miniature hose couplings, like you'd have on your upper and lower radiator hoses. They're chrome. They look like the real thing shrunk down. And then some black tubing. And then I've got a couple of these braided hoses. So, these are little things that can really bring a lot more interest to your kits. And, I'm happy to show you and share this stuff because it might make your models pop more. So, that's that. I don't know um, what I'm going to do for the rest of the day, but my wife gets off late tonight, so I may go ahead and sit down and monkey around with that saucer model, or maybe do some work on the X-wing. I'll just have to see. like I've told you guys, if I'm distracted or not feeling well, then I don't want to mess up my models by, you know, being distracted and not feeling well. So, well, that's it for now. I do have some other things I could pull off the shelf and show you, but I've been rooting around in the stack, and and every time I put it back, the models don't end up in the same place. So, um, yeah, I would have to do some digging right now to get to some of that. I may want to show you. So, maybe another day. But outside that, I'm going to get ready to go to my appointment, which I'm pretty much ready. I just need to do a few things before I go. And I hope this finds you well, and you're surviving our crazy world. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.